All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, we're the brothers from Great Millstone, Atlanta. All right, we're just coming to you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemal Shah with another lesson. First and foremost, we want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace, love, and salutation to you, Akim, out there that's pushing this truth with true sincerity. We're just coming back in the spirit. The title of this lesson is you Americans were never free to begin with, because you're under this illusion that America is a free country and God bless America and land of the free and home of the brave. But there's all types of legislation that was signed during the Emancipation Proclamation and nowadays that's basically letting you people know that you aren't free, man. So we just gonna go ahead and get into it, get some scriptures, and Lord willing, you be edified.
Okay. Starts off titled, Are We Really Free? Maybe it's time for a personal declaration of independence. Published July 7, 2019, off Blacklisted News. Says, we like to think we live in the freest nation in the world, but do we really? Think about it. You never own your own home outright. Even when the mortgage is paid off, every year you must make your exhaustion payment to the city, or trust me, you won't be living in that house for long.
That's right.
So you gotta pay property tax.
Right.
On your own. Even though you own it, somebody else owns the land that you own the home on.
Yeah, you don't really own a house till you own the land.
Right, and it ain't your neighbor neither. It's some rich devil that inherited that the land, and I ain't just talking about 5,000 acres. We're talking about a whole state.
Right.
And that's just in bits and parts. He just the face of it. Really, the Rothschilds own this American land.
He's just a lesser luminary who's given a certain part of land.
Right. It says the same thing with your car. If you don't pay your annual exhaustion payment on your vehicle and pay $100 for a tiny sticker that gives you permission to drive it, it will be promptly towed away by the city with the government's blessing.
I got a cool scripture right quick. It's Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they prescribe. Verse 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. So the so-called white man, all right, Esau, Edom, and you so-called white people, I'm guessing that's a so-called white man that wrote that. You devils, you lower-level six-pack devils, you lower-level crackers, are starting to realize that this country is not free anymore, okay? They're writing grievous things upon you. You don't really own your house.
Right.
You don't really own your car. You don't really own your children. That woman that you're married to, that's not your woman, because you are joined together under the state.
Right.
So you Americans are starting to realize that nothing is free here, okay? Right. The reason, you get taxed out your check. All right, you get taxed out your check. That goes to show you that you're not free, man.
Right, because only those who are free are exempt from paying taxes.
Right. Because
they are part of that sovereignty line of those who own everything that you see. You know what I'm saying? Like different families, but mainly Esau, the so-called white man, really owns everything. Because it was given to him by the blessing of Isaac. But it's also his downfall too. Because the Most High said that he loved Jacob and that the covenant was with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So when we come back in power, it ain't gonna be run like that for us Israelites.
Right.
So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. It's gonna be ran like that for y'all. But it's gonna be righteous judgments. It ain't gonna be like Esau's system.
I got something right quick. This is Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear of rule, the people mourn. and your own people are mourning Esau. You know, mainly our people, because that's how these taxes affect. All right, but you know the wicked is bearing rule right now, and the people are mourning. Man, they got to pay all types of taxes. All right, they were starting to realize that this man is really the devil. Even you so-called white people are starting to realize you're the devil, and the higher ups are devils. That's why you got all these expose videos, these Edomites trying to expose somebody. You know, it's good and fine and everything, man. But at the end of the day, you're along with Esau's wickedness as well.
Right. It says, then like a hostage negotiation going wrong, you'll have to pay even more money to cover their theft and storage of your vehicle. Right, so you paying just to get your stuff back through other middlemen than those who really took it. Then you got the government.
Yeah.
It's telling them like, look, that's the law that we set for the land, so you gotta have insurance.
Right.
You're paying these people out of pocket, and the only time they can help you out is if when you get into a crash.
Maybe.
Or maybe.
Yeah, maybe. You get in a car crash, shit.
It's like, goddamn, that should be for the coming man between whomever he had hit.
Yeah, if you get in a car.
Esau paint this picture, like,
Yeah.
it's like he forcibly paint this picture, like, look, this is everything. He dealing with us. That person is going to pay usury, you know, for your injury, for all of this. You get more money and more check if you go through the ambulance and hospital and all that. So Esau, it's really a money game. It's not really convenient or even safe for an individual.
Yeah, America is a corporation, man. Just like any other business. This is not a country where you come here to be free. It's a corporation, and you see that happens when these people from these other foreign lands come here. They come in here for the sole purpose of making money. But you Americans, you watch these baseball games. You put your hand over your heart. You sing "God Bless of America" at the 7th inning of these baseball games. And you're not really free, man. This country was set up on rape, rob, and murder, man. You know?
Yeah. It says on a regular basis, you must pay a fee and ask the government for permission to do any number of things, such as driving a car, traveling outside the country, running a business, adding another bathroom to your home, or even catching a fish for dinner.
You can't even add a bathroom to your house so you can take a dump.
Right.
That's crazy.
Or wash your tail, or go simply fishing in some type of water.
Yeah.
Or it's trespassing if you do that. Or you gotta have a boat license. You know, Esau is a well, he's a burden, man. He's a natural born burden, obstacle that's in the way of everything that was made righteously, man. People rights to own their own land and want to build an extra part to their own land or even plant a garden.
I got something right quick. It says Daniel 8:25, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many, and he shall also stand up against.
He thinking that it's peace by going and getting a quote for insurance or trusting in the system, paying off different taxes and whatever, you know, that Esau had extra that you have to have in this world. He painted it as where it's peace, because if that person runs off and you can't get paid, well, if it was a law enforced in the land, that person won't be thinking like that.
Yeah.
Because now the only thing people think about is monetary gain. They're not thinking about moral values.
Right.
In our kingdom and in the ancient kingdom that we had, you had righteous officers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just couldn't get over on people.
Yeah, just like that conversation we had in the car, man, before we got on this lesson, man. You pulled out that $10 bill with Alexander Hamilton on it, and you said this is what people worship, man. You can put anybody's face on there, but people are gonna be like, oh, I gotta go by this. You can put JJ from Good Times on that dollar bill, and people still hold it as some type of value, man. This is what people chase.
Right.
You know,
it's their money. It's not. Oh man, you know, it's my neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Because times back then it wasn't like that. We didn't need that type of insurance.
Right.
The only thing we needed was our own kingdom. And the rest came with the territory.
Got it. I'm gonna finish it off. It says, Daniel 8:25, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the princes, but he shall be broken without hand. And that's talking about Esau, the so-called white man.
Yeah, because even in the time of King David, when the prophet Nathaniel came to King David, it was like, you know, if a man come into town, what type of judgment would you give him? If a man was had more than a man that was poor and only had one sheep, and the rich man took that one sheep from that dude that he was really proud to have because of his poorness and stuff like that, his destitute, need. And King David was like, well, that man who had more than him that took his only hue, put him to death. You know, put him to death, judge him to death. And then he was like, nah, he's like, you know, that man is you. You want, you know, because he took what's his wife? What's that soldier name? Started
Uriah.
Uriah, yeah.
Yeah, Uriah the Hittite.
Khan. But it was really a Jake. Well, even then, though, our laws and statutes and commandments stood in those times. You know, even the Lord didn't allow our king to get away with stuff, just like he did with Eli.
Right.
You know, because we didn't have kings and judges in that time. Before Samuel the prophet came along and stuff like that, he anointed different kings for us. So the Lord had it to where, like, the laws are still there, though. You didn't really hear many stories about Jake going off on simple stuff like this. But Esau, that's what Esau want to do, man. Esau is playing God right now.
You got some more on that?
Yeah, I got some more. It says permits and license are big revenue generators from start to finish, and it is. They finally put it out here verbatim. It's going to come to a point that it's just going to shut this internet down. It says, if you proceed without asking permission, they will extort more money from you in the form of fines. So if you don't have the money to pay, well, it is a fine for not being on their time of you paying what they think you should pay. And on one day. Yeah, not knowing your whole situation, not knowing you as an individual person like they did in the ancient world. I think the King David gave people bread and wine and stuff like that. Not only that, though, he kind of knew them on a personal level, too.
Yeah.
Or know, like, which side is the rich and poor. You had that side in the kingdom. That's why we left grapes and stuff for the poor and stuff like that. So Esau know where we at, you know.
Yeah. I mean, and then, you know, the elites and the powers that be, man. Because the scriptures say that earth has been given to the hand of the wicked. They make money off of late fees. They make money off of you not paying what you're supposed to. Yeah, confusing, not paying what you're supposed to pay on time.
Yeah, because you ain't gonna kill yourself because you don't have no money. You gonna stay alive, breathing, and all that. So in your right mind, you gonna work out, you know, whatever you got going for yourself. You ain't gonna be homeless on the street and stuff like that. But Esau puts you to that point. If you ain't strong enough in your mind, it's just everything collapse around you. You just be a walking zombie on the side of the highway.
That's what the Americans
but
are.
That's
walking zombies.
But that's what Jake loved though. Jake loved this type of lifestyle, man.
I heard trying to catch up to the Joneses mentality.
Right. It says they would, or select it. If you refuse to pay the fine, or if you can't, they'll kidnap you and lock you in a cage. So you can have a bench warrant. If you don't show up for court, you know, say for instance you got a job and stuff like that, you try to pay his rent off, but if you miss a day, that's like your last day to miss, and your job will fire you. But they want you to come to court, and they're gonna tell you the same thing last time, like a few months back, that you heard when you didn't have the money. That they're gonna prolong your time, and that you're gonna have to either report to a probation officer. Well, if you don't show up to court, they're gonna fine a fine against you and lock you up. You know, have a bounty hunter to come hunt you.
Right. That's why they make shows off of that.
Yeah, they make shows
Dog
off
the
of
bounty hunter.
Right. But then here it is, they can put money into that shit. But they can't put money into the system to help create jobs that's feasible or convenient for people. Because there ain't too many people got the health to work in these jobs. These jobs pushing you to work 13 hours a day, man.
I got something right quick. This is Isaiah 5:20. It says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put
Oh,
darkness
that's
for
perfect
light
scripture.
and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." You got it.
Yeah, that's what Esau paint this whole picture as your reality. As soon as you wake up in the morning, you're under Esau's rule, man. Even in your sleep, you are under the oppression of Satan, man.
Right.
We gotta get out of this society. That's what we really pushing. It says, if you refuse to pay the fines, or if you can't, they'll kidnap you and lock you in a cage where you'll be forced to perform manual labor for 10 cents an hour for whatever length of time the legal authorities feel is sufficient to teach you a lesson.
Yeah, they'll have you making license plates for 10 cents an hour, man.
Yeah, these men don't know their left from their right hand. Like they don't know who to trust, or they know who to trust. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got these people ruling over us, man, throwing us in these cages for nothing, man.
Yeah.
And then having the format to have you end up in those type of situations.
Mm-hmm.
The food poison, the air poison, what they advertising out here, what they poisoning people, certain race, what they should be achieving, or what's the standard in, you know, Jake culture, so-called Negroes and Latinos. And, you know what I'm saying? They bombard you with obstacles like that, man. That,
Right.
Esau is a damn devil. He's a witch, man. Esau knows what he's doing, you know. I'm going to read the rest of this and then we can wrap it up with a couple of scriptures. It says, there are places in our nation where you can't use your property the way you want. And we already know that. And it is true, man. You don't own really nothing. And the NDAA,
Right.
you know, them house orders,
Mm-hmm.
they prove that.
Yeah, there's a lot of executive orders that basically tell you that your car is not yours, your house is not yours, that land is not yours.
Yep.
They can
If
come
a
in.
national emergency.
Yeah.
That's what they put in front of
Yeah.
them. But they really, but after that, after you call the national emergency, oh, so it's mine again?
Yeah.
It's mine again when you don't call the national emergency? It's, this nigga.
That goes back to that policy, man, because we're going to put certain clauses where he can take it, and then you're not going to get it back no more,
Right,
man.
right. Well, the fine print right here says.
Yeah. You can try
Really, he tells you what to do in the so-called peace treaty that he gives you with these contracts.
Right.
You really don't have no say so. Everything that he writes out to you or that you're agreeing on is really him ruling over you.
Right.
I'm sick of it. Did you know that as a business owner, when I write a paycheck of $1,200 to an employee, it costs me, dang, $1,399.91, and that she only ends up with $1,042.12. Think about it. What we could all do with an extra $357.79 per payday. Exactly, because you don't see it out here. You know, they claim that if you set up a petition, you go to the city council, have them fix the roads, put more stop signs up. It's like, nigga, no, we ain't talking about that. We talking about stuff that people deal with and live with every single day.
Right.
And we obviously don't get that money where it's really needed at. You know what I'm saying? The signs and shit gonna be there for years and shit.
Mm-hmm.
We got problems every day, cardinals, all this stuff. Cost of living. But yeah, they take down to your whole check, man. I bet we wouldn't go out fighting wars on other people's soil with it. I bet we wouldn't enrich politicians and weapons manufacturers with it, and special interest groups with it.
See, that's the hypocrisy of America, though.
Right.
They go out and try to set up military bases on other people's lands, but they can't even fix common issues in their own country, man. They say this country is free, and they give you the Star Spangled Banner, which is going off. That whole thing is about slavery.
Yep.
But how the hell are you gonna try to go in somebody's own country and you can't even figure out your own problems, man?
Right.
That don't make no sense.
Well, that's the dust that the Lord put upon that great serpent.
Yeah, that confusion, man.
That confusion.
Yeah.
You Edomites, you still got that dust in your eye, man. The Most High didn't say when you come into power, the dust should be cleared away from your eyes, which a lot of it is, but it's really not though. The most important part where it's really supposed to be clear at, knowing that it's a power, knowing that we are the children of Israel, and do right by us, and always have us up there. He can't see that.
And I'm gonna say too, like, you so-called white people, when you get affected, it becomes a fucking problem. You know, here it is. We haven't been free since we got over here, but all of a sudden you crackers starting to feel the pressure. Now all of a sudden it's a world problem. No, nigga.
Right.
All right, this word been going on since 1969.
It doesn't matter what color you are.
Yeah, that's what these so-called truthers try to do. It doesn't matter what color you are. We're fighting the 1%. No, we're not joining hand in hand with you niggas, man.
Right.
All right, you're part of the problem too.
Yep.
You one of these same crackers that's wearing these MAGA hats, but then undercover you're like, well, we gotta do something, brother. We're all brothers at the end of the day. We all bleed red. No, nigga, we ain't with you.
Right. Cause you goddamn say, man. But the Lord said it was gonna happen to America though. Right. It says, this is Baruch chapter 4, verse 32. Well, I'm gonna stop at 31. Well, I'll stop at 30. Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. And the Lord is comforting us through these scriptures, but ultimately He's going to fulfill these scriptures too as well. The main important ones. Verse 32. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve.
Yeah.
Miserable is she that received thy sons.
So we serve hardcore bondage. We build up the White House. We build up the railroad system. We built up this country. So in turn, all right, these cities are miserable. You look at Los Angeles. You look at San Francisco, Atlanta. All these cities are shithole cities. Right? They smell. They reek of rats. They reek of diseases. All right, but these people still host these Super Bowl events, these big conventions. These cities are miserable, man. These cities are feeling the pressure because, like I said, you know, the word is going out, man. Right. All right, and the children of Israel waking up. All right, and the Lord is putting the Lord is putting that perverse spirit, like it mentions in Isaiah the 19th chapter, man. Yep. He's putting that perverse spirit on you Americans, man. So everything that is pretty much produced now, man, is no good here in America, man. And America never produced anything. That's why that's why the scriptures call it the great whore. You don't get anything out of a whore. You just bang it and get back to business, man. You know? Mm-hmm. You got some?
Ruled by fear and manipulation. Well, that's it.
You got any closing scriptures?
Come. Yep. Oh, yeah, I got it.
But yeah, I'm gonna say, man, too, man, Americans, you're gonna start feeling the pressure more and more. This country is still under a national emergency, and then pretty soon, as the heat wave goes down, it's only gonna get more hot. And I ain't talking about the weather. I'm talking about that this government is going to another shutdown, man. Yeah. All right, yeah, y'all forgot about that, man. Here it is, like 2 weeks ago, me and a couple brothers was watching the Democratic the Democratic debate as far as the Democratic Party goes, but nobody mentioned that this country is still under national emergency. Nobody mentioned that the government shutdown is looming once again. So these people, these politicians, man, they're playing you, man. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican or independent, they're still playing you, man. They're playing you like a fine-tuned instrument, man. And even you so-called white people are starting to realize that America is not great anymore, man. This country's going down, and the scriptures indicate that America is finished, man.
Come. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people should stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Mm-hmm. And it won't be for long until you have these local Edomites is going to rise up, just like they're doing in California and other states as well. Yeah. You know, these crackers, they coming together, man, and they watching down to everything. They paying attention to the news.
That's why you got Antifa. That's why you got these Proud Boys. You know, the brother you died, he did a video on months ago about these riots that was up in Portland, Oregon, man. These crackers are fucking losing it, man.
Right.
All right. Satan is divided against Satan, man, and you can't win when Satan is divided against Satan, man. Satan is playing on the minds of you so-called white people, man.
Yeah. So you white people is gonna be hella mad at your pastors, hella mad at your senators, your Republicans. You're gonna be mad at your mayors and all of them, man, for representing you in a bad light.
Right.
Because what's coming down the pipe is you damn Edomites getting your judgment. And swords in their hands, for there should be sedition among men and invading one another. What's the scripture? Let not the buyer rejoice,
Right.
and let not the seller be happy or something.
That's in I believe that's in Second Esdras.
Come, cause in that article we read that the businessman he was loathing too,
Yeah.
and misery because he had to pay taxes just for paying somebody. Like how the hell? So Esau, no matter what, he's already in your pockets. No matter what type of business that you handle,
Yeah.
and you want to display it to show that you're not doing evil deeds in this system. But that goes to show you he's the real ruler.
Yeah.
He's the real ruler, man. Esau, the so-called white man, he runs this world.
But he was only set up by the Lord because this place known as America is just basically a concentration camp
Yeah,
for
it's a prison plan.
you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and confusion of faces, man.
Yep. Until the Lord come back.
Right.
Because you, Jake, don't know that you're in slavery, man. You are behind invisible bars. You can only think so much.
Yeah, you so-called Negroes, man, you're about 100 years past due, man. Past due in your mind, man. Because all of a sudden, you thought that Lincoln freed you, and you uphold Abraham Lincoln, you uphold this civil rights movement. Your ass is still in slavery, man.
Yeah, just like us. We thought that, look, we thought the way how the world was ran when we was in the world, that's how the world is run. But something within us, which you know, it was the spirit calling us, man, to come find out the real truth. And now we're knowing it. And even when we got the truth, we still think we behind stuff because it's the everlasting learning. You know, you gotta understand, like, this damn devil been cracking us down and having us not reading and being behind and basically basic fundamentals of learning, man, and applying it. Esau has took that away from our nation, and the only way that you can apply stuff as a Jake nowadays is listening about music or
How to play ball.
how to play ball or something.
Yeah.
Because the other stuff don't pay, and the other stuff it takes a long time to get through, and Esau, he just set the system up that way.
Yeah, man. So, hey, that's basically it, man. You know, just coming with a short lesson. Hey, you Americans are gonna feel it too. Maybe we can come back with a part 2 and going into the legislation to really bring the point home that you Americans really are not free, man. Like the NDAA 2012 Act, the HR 6566. So Lord willing, me and the brother can come back, do another lesson to actually bring out the points that you really aren't free. And this country is going down the drain, like the apostles and elders mentioned. So, hey, with that, we want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakal Kadash. All right, Kwam the elect, Shalom.
So